and was it the Beast Girl who used to be Beast Woman, but now her
Monster Girl,
who every time she turns to a monster, gets a little bit younger. I'm like, that's not a power at all. I'm just like,
that's a curse.
I mean, at least Bruce Banner turns back to Bruce Banner. I'm just saying, but. On YouTube, it's Sensei, place to be chilling, Mr. Andy. Back to give you guys a TV experience here, and we're talking about the new thing, Invincible, and my partner right here, the anime hero, Swag on Zero.
You literally, you jumped over me and just.
I jumped. I was kind of the guy. I was kind of the guy falling into the lava, and I thought he was gonna die. He came back.
I thought he was gonna die.
I saved you, bro. What's up?
Oh, hey,
exactly.
Hey.
You gotta be ready at all times.
I was ready. That was my opening right there.
I said the anime hero Swag on Zero,
and then that's what I say. You jumped over me, and then
well, so now we're talking about the Amazon original series Invincible. So on this TV experience, obviously, I don't have like the notes or the breakdown Easter eggs because honestly, I have not read the Invincible comics. Invincible is part of Image Comics, and honestly, growing up, there was only one comic from Image, and that was Spawn. So, but when it comes to the Invincible, I never really read that, and I've heard people talk about it on the internet about how it's about like a little different from the omnibus, but from what I'm picking up from it, it's kind of like of a spin-off of kind of like the Justice League type of thing, which a lot of things have done. So in this kind of review, we'll go get the same format. We'll give our initial thoughts on the first 3 episodes. Then we'll get into the spoilers, but it'll be more of just a discussion opposed to trying to break down certain things because we have not read the comics at all.
We don't know the Easter eggs.
Yeah, so we don't know something like that. But first off, the first 3 episodes dropped. So it's kind of like when WandaVision first came out, the first 2 episodes dropped, so we're going to review them all together. So the first 3 episodes of starting off this series, how do you feel about it?
Oh my God. Where was this show years ago? I was like, I didn't know I needed this so much. The animation was so great. It reminded me of a Nickelodeon version of Justice League. And then I'm just watching, I'm like,
damn, okay.
And I'm watching, I'm like, yo, this is good. And then it just started getting bloody. I'm like, wait, what? Like, am I watching the right show? Because this is getting crazy. Now, I only saw 1 clip of the show, so I didn't see too many trailers.
Only saw one trailer myself. Only saw the clip where they was throwing the baseball to each other. That's the only thing I saw. And I was like, I want to check this out. I'm about to say throwing baseballs around the world to get to the plate.
I know, right? Wow. But this show is a complete nerdgasm, without a doubt.
So far, it made me think like, damn, I need to give Image Comics a chance because
you're right. This is good.
It is. So I gotta go check. I gotta go do some homework on Invincible. And right now I was watching it and I was like, yo, this is not for the weak at heart at all. Even when the episodes is climbing, each episode, the title screen gets a little bit more blood on it.
I'll bring that up when we get into because I love how they do that.
Yeah, so for something that's new and fresh and something that's not Marvel and DC at the war that we're at right now with the company, it's definitely a complete nerdgasm. So if you give it nerdgasm, you gotta do it right. So, guys,
my walls are thin.
That sounded like that forced Suicide Squad joke that was in there about the island full of dicks, but we'll get to that in the podcast. So, guys, we're gonna get into spoilers right now. So if you guys have not seen Invincible, the first 3 episodes, you go watch that before we get into it. So, right now, Invincible, from what we're getting, is taking place. Obviously, we have this superhero team, which is literally like the Justice League.
Yeah, it's Golden Globe, I think it's called.
Well, the Guardians.
Okay. Guardians of the Globe. That's what it's called.
Guardians of the Globe. So the Guardians of the Globe. And then we have War Woman, which is a takeoff of Wonder Woman. Yeah. We have Green Ghost, which is a take on like
Martian Manhunter, I'm assuming.
No, Martian Manhunter's the other one. So I'm gonna call Green Ghost kind of like Green Lantern, I'm guessing.
Okay, I took the one you're thinking of as Plastic Man.
Plastic Man was not part of Justice League. I mean, he was, but
Yeah,
he was more on the JSA side of it, opposed to Justice League, because when you get to was it Martian Man? That's Martian Manhunter.
Okay.
Yeah, and then we have Red Rush, which obviously a speedster like Flash. Mm-hmm. Then we have Darkwing, Black Batman, Holla. Yeah. And then we had the Immortal Aquarius, I believe, who was literally a fish, who was obviously Aquaman. And then we had, of course, the leader known as Omni-Man. Was it
Omni-Man was not the leader. He wasn't even part of the Guardians of the Globe. It was someone else who had the same powers as him.
Okay.
I forget his name. Let me check. You could go on while I
Okay, well, wow, I thought that was so kick-ass scene in the beginning, but it was a of the Guardians, fight off this threat, and then we see this. So the guy who plays Omni-Man is played by J.K. Simmons. His name is Nolan Grayson. He has a son named Mark Grayson, who's an Asian American, which I like that we get some diversity.
The leader was named the Immortal.
Okay,
that was the blue and orange jacket guy that kind of had the same powers as Omni-Man.
Okay,
but Omni-Man was never an official member of the.
Oh, that's right. Okay, yeah,
he was never an official member.
Okay, so and then I didn't sound to make a little sense now. So he is this kid who's wants to be like his dad, but his powers haven't kicked in yet, and he's at adolescence right now. He's doing teen, he's getting bullied and stuff like that. So when these powers won't kick in, until eventually he's at work one day, he just launches a bag of trash into space.
And I love his reaction. He was like, "About time."
About time. Goes home, and then he has his mother is normal because he's have
Asian and I forget the race.
That's right. I mean, when it comes to Vertrum and human, you know what I'm saying?
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, when it comes to that. So he wants to be like his dad. His dad was going to show him training. He does the Superman thing, tries to learn how to fly. I like how they kind of go over the aspects of like regular flying.
Me too.
We don't even take off in it. We create our own takeoff type thing. But one thing I love about when people fly that they never addressed that they did in this show was landing. How do you land?
Yeah. And he had trouble with it like more and more until he started actually getting it throughout the episode. I really enjoyed that.
Yeah. So it really goes on the first episode. Really goes through his teenage angst and everything, but he finally gets his powers. His father wants to go suit him up, but his father is not really on board with him having powers. It kind of they play a little Easter egg in there. As when he finds his power, his wife has to kick him and be like, "Oh yeah, that's great." It's got for training, which something is bothering him. Which I don't know if we truly have gotten to it in the first 3 episodes just yet.
I don't think we do.
No,
I don't think we have.
But because I think it's gonna be something along the lines of he may be stronger than him.
Possibly.
Yeah, so
that usually happens with the mixed human and alien type of thing, where it's just like Gohan is technically stronger than Goku, even though nobody wants to say it. Neither does the series, but we all know.
So so as he's going through his teenage age, you see his best friend, the girl he got a crush on, Amber, in the school, who actually helps protect him from the bully a little bit. But I like when he goes back into the bully, he's like, "Yo, hit me."
Yeah.
Even though that was some great acting when his dad was like hit him in the chest. He's like,
"I'm sorry, you never hit me before."
He was like, "Yo, man, he really couldn't talk. Like, can you imagine getting punched in the chest by Superman?"
For practice.
Oh, bro, I can't imagine getting spanked. Like, something.
Like, come on, you can't handle it.
He can't. But then when he finally realized he can handle it, had the bully just punch at him to the point where you freak, and had to run off and be scared of the thing. I was like, okay, this is kind of cool. How else would you handle it in high school? Even to the point where his mama was something like, "Yo, because he was out there just landing holes in the backyard.
Yeah.
But she was like, yo, you gotta go to bed. You gotta school tomorrow. He's like, make me. She's like, oh, so that just makes you feel great because you just tell me knowing I can't do nothing about it. Well, I was like, because I wonder, would did Superman do that to Jonathan and Martha at all? Especially being a 10.
No, he's mom apple pie.
Everybody say, yeah, like, yo, make me, bro.
Now, what I do like about the series is like it gives me back into the feeling of it's more nostalgic to me about the high school superhero, because we don't get that a lot now. Everyone's usually an adult, so it's nice because the last one was probably Static or Spectacular Spider-Man, where we really got the high school life of superheroes.
Yeah,
and now getting this, I was like, you know what, this feels good. I'm glad we got this.
Oh yeah, I'm glad we got it too. We get our first threat. These aliens come to Earth, and I'm like, what's their purpose? Don't matter. They come. I mean, they are working people. They just sit there with their guns, and I mean, they are exploding these human beings. They just exploding. Right. I'm just like,
it's a luxury to see a human survive in this show, and I'm like, what is going? Like the death toll in this show is crazy.
It really is, and then he goes and he tries to show, he tries to be a part of this. Try to save it, try back his dad, but then he realizes that it ain't that easy,
right?
When he does it, because I didn't appear like when he was like trying to save the woman right from the alien, and he was flying around, he falls into the hole, and the superhero search they covered up protector. I'm like, can you imagine if you that strong and you tensed up? And he just looked at her like, "Oh shit!"
Yeah,
like fucked up. And I was like, I like the little small details that we don't get in a lot of superhero shows,
right? Because it shows it's like he's growing. He can't be level 100 already.
Well, like according to a lot of people, if that's the way the character is, they don't need no room to grow, type thing. So what I do like at the end of the first episode came out of nowhere for me. Because all the Guardians get a page, and they all meet up at their headquarters, and they're like, yo, who called the page? And then all of a sudden Red Rush sees something like, hold on, and then he just barely at that moment says, I forgot which one it was, Immortal.
That's the Immortal.
The Immortal out the way from getting smacked down by Omni-Man, and all of a sudden Omni-Man is he's going injustice on these guys and taking all of them out. And I'm like, what the? First of all, I felt bad for was it Darkwing? My man got smacked to the cock. I was like, well, that's the end.
I was like, God.
And then Green Ghost ain't have a chance to even goes up. She's got just hand through the head. I was just like, oh my God.
My favorite deaths. Well, I like the super rushes. Yeah. And then just Red Rush just punching them, and as he's punching them, his hands are breaking, but it's still affecting Omni-Man because he's like coughing up blood. I was like, what?
They are beating him down. It's like the Immortal and Power Woman left, and then of course the Martian Manhunter guy, Martian Man, and they go and he wraps him up while they like laying it on him, but he like finds Martian's heart and just rips it, and he falls off. He snapped Power Woman's neck,
and then she coughs after. I was like, what? I'm like, whoa, this is crazy.
And he just, for good measure, back smacks. You know how hard you gotta back smack somebody's head to fall off?
For the bone to disconnect.
Exactly. And I was just like, what? And then he just falls and passes out too. And I'm like, what happened? Is that a bad day? Bro, you had a bad day. And not only go ahead.
I was gonna say before that, because I was questioning, I was like, we were showing each superhero get a page, and we're just seeing part of their life, and I was like, why are we going through them all individually? It's like, what? I don't really care about this, but I'm like, after that whole scene, I was like, oh, so those villains on that water tower not getting saved. That kid is alone now. Her photography business is done. I was just looking at every single piece. I was like, and Red Rush's girlfriend or wife, it's like she's completely single.
Yeah, she had a powerful line at the funeral.
Yeah, she did.
I know, like he said, now he's staying still, and I still can't see him.
I was like,
and I was just like, first he was like, yeah, you might want to go get. She all. But that was kind of deep. So, but the second episode, they come to the headquarters and they're like picking up the bodies, and they see that Omni-Man is still alive, taken to the hospital, but he's unconscious because he took a beating himself.
Right.
And we get introduced to another team of heroes, more of the younger side of the heroes. I forgot what they're called.
Team. I hate that name.
I
hate that name.
The four best superhero team, which consists of what was it, Adam Eve, and then we had
Rexplosion.
Yeah, that's
Duplicate. I thought that was a cool name. That's actually a cool name to
Duplicate,
play with her name.
I like Duplicate, and then
Robot. That's just Robot.
That was lazy. I'm sorry.
I was like, that's it.
That sounded like Image Comics to me, but that's when they were trying to go the Alien Force, and they were sitting there. They were actually kind of holding their own on, and the aliens realized that the time they sit here, they get a little bit older, so they retreated. So they take on their victory. We find out that Invincible, which he finally gets his name, and he gets that cool outfit. And Homegirl, what's the Homegirl's name? Was it Adam Eve?
Adam Eve, yeah.
The one that he goes to school with.
Yeah, Adam Eve.
Yeah, I was like, he finally go to school. I was like, we forming a love triangle.
I didn't think there were. Well, I wanted him to have a black girl.
Well,
I wanted him to have the black girl at the beginning. I was like,
absolutely.
I was like, come on, minorities gotta stick together. We gotta stick together as much as we can.
No, I want the same thing too. But they it's obvious that there's this Hellboy kind of character, this demon detective.
I'm real interested in him. Yeah, he's very interesting.
Yeah, he's trying to study the own case because some don't just seem right. You know, I like that he's gonna be on Omni-Man's ass.
Yeah,
a little bit. So, as we get, Mark realizes that the superhero thing is not really much what he's used to necessarily, and he wants to know if he's going to fail. But then they say, "Hey, you can come join the team also." But then after there's no Guardians, Robot is trying to form a new Guardians team. And which we get to some interesting characters like Shrinking Ray, and was it the Beast Girl who used to be Beast Woman, but now her
Monster Girl,
who every time she turns to a monster, she gets a little bit younger. I'm like, that's not a power at all. I'm just like,
that's a curse.
I mean, at least Bruce Banner turns back to Bruce Banner. I'm just saying, but
now Rex deserved all of that whooping.
So Rex is an asshole. He just
I don't know how he got on the team.
First of all, I don't know how he's still on the team. Don't you hit the guy? It's one thing when the guy talks shit and you humble him. But it's another thing when the guy talks shit, you humble him and he's still talking shit.
Right.
It bothered me to the point where he was, coming at Monster Girl and she whooped his ass. Okay, like she whooped his ass to the point where none of his stuff was effective, and he's still getting up talking shit because he's upset because he feels as though that Mark and Adam Eve have a relationship going on, even though Adam Eve and him are going out. But Mark, that's not the case because Mark has eyes for this girl named Amber in his high school. But he's realized that it's hard to balance a superhero like Amber doesn't know his secret,
right?
Of what's going on. It's hard to balance that life of trying to be a superhero, but also trying to have a social life. So Rex decides I'm gonna go cheat on
Adam Eve.
Adam Eve with what was Duplicate girl, yeah. And I'm like, he had all three of them in the shot at the same time. That's
now one thing I like about the series that other series don't do. It's like when after the guy cheats, he's like, "Come on, take me back." And usually, I was like, "Please don't say yes." I was like, that is going to take this series a notch down if she says that. She's like, "No," flies away, goes see Mark getting it on, and she's like, instead of just being like, "Oh man," she's like, "Good for you." I was like, You know, it's the simple things.
It's a simple thing, which is it's going to bother me though, because Mark is going to look. It's going to. What I fear is going to happen is, am I happy that he's like hooking up with Amber because he has a crush on her?
Right.
What's going to happen is it's going to be easier to deal with Adam Eve because one, she knows your secret. Mm-hmm. Y'all both heroes. Y'all both in the same business.
Right.
It's easy. It's just easier, opposed to more like he may like Amber even more, but it's just easier to deal with her. So I have a feeling that within the show that's going to happen also. I'm gonna be
yeah, we learned that the hard way when dude came up to the room and was like, "All right, you gotta go be a superhero." I was like, "I got a girl over." That the world is in danger. Go be a superhero.
Exactly. So it looks like though that the company that Omni-Man, working with, because he wakes up from his coma in the hospital, and it looks like that they all work in some kind of shady shit that nobody really knows about. And once again, his wife and his family are not aware of anything Omni-Man has done.
Right.
They still think he's the last lucky one to survive. Which, me personally, it'd be different if Darkwing survived. Mm-hmm. Okay, but having the strongest one survive, yeah. That's on the shady level.
It's shady, but it's like, well, he was the strongest one, so it kind of makes sense that he's alive.
Yeah.
So it plays. It's like you can think either or.
But if I got somebody on the team named Immortal, I don't know.
Right? Yeah. If I had someone on the team named Immortal and he's not alive, I'm like, okay, what?
Yeah, we doing something wrong here. Just saying. So. Even with the funeral in episode 3, I thought it was really good. But Detective Hellboy, which I'm calling him, I forgot his name.
Yeah, I forgot his name too.
Yeah, just is closer on the case, even to the point where Omni-Man is on to him, knowing that he probably had figured it out of who killed these people. I don't know how many episodes is in this series or in the season.
I heard it's a low count.
I'm hoping it's like a low count so we can hear cohesive story going on.
Right. Now, also what I like about the series while I'm looking up the episodes, what I like about the series is how they do the title.
Yes.
It's like they're just having a regular conversation. It's like, well, it's just it catches me off. It catches me off guard every time because I'm like, is something wrong with my sound? I look back at the TV and I just see the title and just more blood. It's like, this is very ominous.
It's a very creative way to do the intro. A very creative way to do it. So, I give it so far. Like I said, just talking about 3 episodes of stuff that I know. I don't know too many Easter egg stuff like that, but it's been a real good show. We're going to sit here and talk about it on a TV experience every single week. It comes out every Friday too, don't it?
Yes, every Friday. I think it's going to be 8 episodes. Don't quote me on that. So yeah. It might be 8 episodes.
We're going to be here every single Friday doing this. And make sure we put up for you guys to break down the Easter egg stuff like that, because like I said, and hopefully we can educate ourselves throughout the week more about Invincible and Image Comics and stuff like that. But yeah, it's been a good ride. I recommend you guys go to Amazon Prime if you have it, but most people do have Prime, and go check this thing out because it's really dope.
This and The Boys, their superhero properties are really good,
especially when it comes to the dark, mature nature of it.
Right. I'm glad Amazon is doing this.
And like I said, we got a pretty good all-star cast here, from J.K. Simmons to Mark Hamill to Zazie Beetz. I don't even know who she played, but I was like, Zazie, hey.
Mahershala Ali. Seth Rogen, who's actually producing these shows.
Yeah, so I'm like, we got a pretty good cast up here. Who plays Mark?
Mark is Stephen Yu. Okay. He's I believe he's nominated for a Grammy.
Oh, okay.
He's Asian American actor. I seen him remember the Asian friend in Sorry to Bother You?
Think so.
Okay. He hooked up.
The friend that's come to my mind is Amari Hardwick.
Okay. He hooked up with the main character's girl in the movie.
Okay.
And they just never addressed it. But that's who's playing him.
Uh-huh.
I'm hearing the great things about him, which is like great. I mean, we need some great, positive Asian representation going on.
Exactly. And once again, I'm still a firm supporter of the Stop the Asian Hate. So I'm not going to back off that at all.
Right.
So, guys, post that comments down below how you guys feel about Invincible. We told you how we feel about it. Hit the like button if you guys enjoy our review of it, and come back here every single Saturday, most likely, so we can talk about Invincible and the Falcon and Winter Soldier and anything else that's coming up on TV that's worth checking it out. So, once again, this is NCF Place Between Champion CND and the Anime Hero Swag on Zero.
Catch you later.
All right, and once again, we'll see you on the next channel. Nerd Quotient is out.